It is now October, and that means Halloween is fast approaching. So I put together a list of 10 spooky and not so spooky games for you to play this Halloween, starting with Scorn. This game releases October 21 this year and promises an atmospheric first-person horror adventure game set in a nightmarish universe of odd forms and somber tapestry. From the gameplay footage I have seen, it certainly fits the creepy Halloween vibes. Now onto something a little less scary, but perfectly at home with the theme of this video, and that is Flipping Death. It is a beautifully crafted puzzle platformer in which you play as a temporary worker for death itself. You help ghosts with their issues, and the main mechanic of the game is flipping between the underworld and the living world. It has an amazing artwork and really great writing, so it should be a game on your radar for this spooky season. The Quarry is an interactive story game with branching paths. It is very atmospheric and perfect for this spooky season. Plus, with different paths to be chosen, you can ensure that the game has plenty of replayability. In the Quarry, there is also local co-op and online multiplayer so you can play with friends, although the local co-op is merely assigning a character to each player and passing the controller when that character is on screen. The online multiplayer lets you host your friends and they can vote on what choices the characters make. Maybe you prefer a Tim Burton Nightmare Before Christmas or Corpse Bride aesthetic. Then the game Lost in Random might be up your alley. It gives me all the same aesthetic vibes. It is a gothic fairy tale inspired action adventure game. One of the main mechanics involves dice rolling that impacts everyone's fate. The gameplay is in real time and you are accompanied by Dicey. Once Dicey gathers up enough energy to roll, you roll to see the number of cards you have to play. Although it sounds very complex, it is actually quite simple to figure out how the combat works. It is a great little game and you should consider playing it if you enjoy action-adventure games. Now onto a game that I've played a lot this year, and that is Cult of the Lamb. It is a wonderful indie gem. The game starts out with you, a little lamb who has just been sent to be sacrificed by 4 eldritch deities. However, rather than dying, you are saved by another deity who brings you back to life in order to face off against those who originally caused your demise. The gameplay loop revolves around you taking on dungeons for supplies, looking after your cult, and partaking in other activities like fishing and a card game. Cult of the Lamb is perfect to play this spooky season or really any time of year. Moving back to the scarier games, next on my list is Yomawari. There are currently 2 Yomawari games released in the series, and they are Night Alone and Midnight Shadows, with a third game releasing this year on October 28 called Yomawari Lost in the Dark. The Yomawari games are all atmospheric horror games, and best played with headphones due to the eerie sound design. The main gameplay has you walking around in the darkness with a torch. You'll be running and hiding from ghosts lurking within the shadows throughout the game. Moving on to something that screams Halloween, that would be Pumpkin Jack. It is a 3D platformer in which you play as Jack, the mythical pumpkin lord. The premise is fun as you adventure through the game helping evil. With solid controls, it makes for a great 3D platformer. Corpse Party is a classic survival horror game. The story follows a bunch of high school students who are transported to the decayed remains of Heavenly Host Elementary, where ghosts roam and blood covers the walls. The game is heavily focused on the story and it is best experienced for yourself, so I won't say much more about the story. Just note that there are puzzles to solve, secret endings, and lots of corpses, as the title alludes to. Nothing screams Halloween more than witches, so of course I had to include Bayonetta on this list, as Bayonetta herself is a witch. There are 3 games in the Bayonetta series, with the 3rd releasing this year on October 28. The games are over the top, but the combat is so fun. Created by Platinum Games, the combat is both fast-paced and stylish. It may not be for everyone, but if you love action-adventure games, I recommend giving Bayonetta a go. I have recently been replaying Spiritfarer, and all I can say is that I absolutely adore this game. It is both cozy and wholesome. Now you may be wondering how this is perfect for Halloween. Well, if scary games aren't for you, then this might be the perfect alternative. You play as a new Spiritfarer, whose job it is to both befriend and care for spirits before they finally move into the afterlife. You can fish, mine, cook and harvest, all while travelling across the endless seas. Plus there is a co-op option so you can play with a friend. For me, this game is very calming and tells a beautiful story of saying goodbye to those you love. Well, I hope you found some games to play this Halloween. Enjoy the spooky season, don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye!